Okay, we're going to talk about the Berwick Planning Board meeting from last night, which was Thursday, March 20th. It was a relatively quick meeting. There wasn't a lot on the agenda. Basically, nobody came. There was no public hearing. There were no public comments. The minutes were approved from the March 6th meeting, and we had two pieces of new business. So they were both sketch plans. And if you don't know, the process for Berwick Planning Board is that a proposed development or change is going to come and they're going to present a sketch plan review. And that is simply to say, hey, this is what we're thinking of doing. No decisions are made, nothing is voted on at that point. Clarifying questions are asked, and it just kind of gets it into the board members' brains so we can start thinking about questions and whatnot. And we also schedule the site walks. So the first sketch plan was a subdivision amendment and a major subdivision. And this is the apartment buildings on Old Pine Hill Road North, the ones that have the bright green front doors that I love. So it's LRB Leasing, and they were represented by civil consultants. So what they want to do is add a 6-unit building. So that lot goes all the way from Old Pine Hill Road to Pine Hill Road, right near Terrace Drive. So they want to add a 6-unit building to the Pine Hill Road side, and then a 2-unit building closer to the Old Pine Hill Road side. And the new units are proposed to be affordable as defined by the new LD 2003 law. And I'm going to talk a little bit about LD 2003 at the end of this video because it's really important. But basically, we walked through it. We talked about sidewalks because when this project was previously approved, sidewalks were an issue. And I believe we waived that requirement the last time. We definitely did because there's no sidewalks there. But at this point, they're not asking for a waiver, but also we kind of let them know we weren't looking to waive sidewalks because sidewalks are really important in Berwick. So the site walk was scheduled on this one for April 17th at 4 p.m. If you're interested in attending the site walk, we are going to be meeting on the Pine Hill Road side. I believe we're going to park on Terrace Drive and kind of review that. Just so you know, the public is welcome to attend site walks. The public is not actually permitted to get into a discussion during a site walk. The purpose is to basically see physically what's going to happen. It's a way for the board and the chairman of the board to ask questions of the developer and their representative, but it is not a back and forth. And we do ask that the public do hold their comments for the public hearing. And that is when the public is heard and questions are answered. So just a little rundown of site walks for you. The next thing on the agenda was another sketch plan. So this was another subdivision amendment for a major subdivision. And this is the one on Heritage Drive and School Street. There's that big field over there with the old house in the corner. They had already approved a 6-unit subdivision. That's basically 6 lots all on Heritage Drive on the left-hand side when you drive in. So there's lots 1 through 6. They already listed houses. They already have one under contract. So this would be phase 2 of that, and they are proposing a 17-lot cluster development. Now, a cluster subdivision is meant to basically shrink the lot sizes that would typically be required in that zone, but it's to promote more open space. And since that is like a former farm, probably a long, long time ago it was a farm, but it's fields right now. And in order to protect that open space, and there's a lot of vernal pools and stuff going on over there, we allow developers to propose a cluster. And so the lot sizes are a lot smaller. It reduces the road length. I think this one, they said that it was going to be reduced by 900 feet. It reduces the amount of impervious surface. So it's very beneficial that way. And then it preserves open space. We scheduled, so we heard the sketch plan. There were no questions actually. And then we scheduled the site walk on that one for April 24th at 4 p.m. Again, welcome to attend as a member of the public to find out more about that project. Any questions should be held for the public hearing. I want to talk about a little bit about the LD 2003, because LD 2003 was enacted to encourage affordable housing. And what it does is it allows an increased density. So right now, let's say you're in the R2 zone in Berwick. I don't have our charts right in front of me, but let's say the minimum lot size there is 1.5 acres or 1 acre. It's probably something along those lines. And that's how much you need to have one dwelling in that zone. LD 2003 increases the density of the zoning by 2.5%, and actually 2.5 times. I don't think it applies in R2, but I could be wrong about that. But definitely in the R1, the more dense zones, it allows for 2.5 times the density. And obviously the property has to still have some minimum, there are minimum thresholds for other things. I believe parking is one of them, and whatnot. You can't build a 5-story building. But for instance, in the LRB leasing thing that we saw last night, the density for that, the maximum density under what is it called, LD 2003, would be 40 something units. I think they said like 42 units. They're only proposing putting in another 8, and it must be affordable housing, and that's for 30 years. So the law requires that affordable housing projects remain affordable for at least 30 years through deed restrictions. So there's that. I want to just see if there was anything else I really want to talk to you about with the LD 2003, because it's really important. Yeah. The other thing that we were able to get with LD 2003 is that municipalities must allow at least one ADU on any lot where a single family house is permitted. So that's pretty cool also. You still have to go through and get permits, but if you own a single family home, you can absolutely build an ADU on your property. And I think that's pretty cool also. It's another way to get more housing. That's it. I condensed that 30-minute meeting down to 7 minutes for you. Stay tuned. If you've got any questions about planning board, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer whatever I can.